It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Hey there, in this installment, we're taking a look at American whiskey regions. What? American whiskey regions? Well, okay, maybe the US doesn't yet compare to Scotland in terms of having a distinct set of regional characteristics. But American whiskeys are certainly now being made in all areas of the country, and with this, perhaps we now are in the beginning stages of a developing distinct regionality. We can likely thank the craft distilling trend for the expansion of the American whiskey industry. A lot of these new distilleries are under a decade old, but just because they aren't new doesn't mean they aren't creating some really good whiskeys and doing some daring expressions, including things like hopped whiskeys, peated and mesquite smoked American whiskeys. Of course, we start our discussion of America's best whiskey with the two obvious states that are the historical hub of the American whiskey industry, Kentucky and Tennessee. We can acknowledge Kentucky as the preeminent whiskey-making region in the country, admittedly followed by Tennessee as a close runner-up. As I noted in a past Whiskey Wizard episode about the American Whiskey Trail, there are a lot of new and not so new U.S. up-and-comers from places far and wide of the traditional bourbon and rye homeland states. And I should also mention that American single malt and blended malt whiskey is becoming an actual thing in its own right. Historically, both Indiana and Pennsylvania have also been known for their high-quality whiskey production. In Indiana, the Indiana Whiskey Company stands out, and of course we have the major MGP distiller there in the Hoosier State. While in Pennsylvania, Dad's Hat makes some of the nicest rye whiskeys you'll find. And of course, rye whiskey in states like Pennsylvania and Maryland goes way back to the times of our nation's founding. Another state in the Midwest with a noteworthy distilling history includes Illinois. Look, I'm going to note that Ohio is getting to have a lot going on, with our own Cleveland whiskey here at home as a good example of a newer distillery executing some daring innovation while still keeping a firm eye on American whiskey's deep roots and traditions. However, since craft distilling has grown tremendously as of late, there has been a shift in the fastest growth in the whiskey industry to places like Colorado and the American West. Considerable whiskey distilling operations are happening in Arizona, Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming. For example, Wyoming whiskey. It has only been distilling whiskey since 2009 and has just released a new line of double cask whiskeys finished in Pedro Ximénez sherry casks. I've been told that Wyoming whiskey is one of the best whiskeys made outside of the confines of Kentucky or Tennessee. Might have to check one of those out soon. There is also Westland Distilling in Seattle, Washington. Westland was founded in 2010 and is definitely a leader in the West Coast craft whiskey distilling. In 2016, the company was officially bought by Remy Cointreau. And of course, we also have the largest states in the nation, California and Texas, that have seen the emergence of new distilleries. In California, one notable one is the Charbet Distillery founded in Napa Valley. In Texas, the current market leader is Waco-based Balcones, which makes a very popular true blue whiskey. Balcones is still considered to be one of the top micro whiskey brands in the nation. And we have to mention Garrison Brothers outside of Austin, Texas, who are garnering attention in their range of high-quality whiskeys. Okay, there are way too many locations and whiskeys to mention them all, but here's a short list of those not mentioned yet that come to mind that are worth checking out. Back in the east and south, we have Smooth Ambler Spirits from West Virginia, Whistle Pig in Vermont, and Ragged Branch in Virginia, and St. Augustine and Von Payne, both whiskeys from Florida. And don't forget George Washington's own, which is still made at his Mount Vernon, Virginia estate. In the Midwest, there is, well, we'll say it again, Cleveland Whiskey and Tom's Foolery right close to us in Ohio. And how about Fuse Spirits in Illinois and Grand Traverse in Michigan? Out west, of course, we have High West in Utah, Verde, local distillery in Nevada, Leopold Brothers, Breckenridge and Stranahan's in Colorado, and Black Butte and Westward from Oregon. There's one more out in Los Angeles, California, of all places, Broken Barrel, that I have tried and liked. Look, many of you may have your favorites. Please comment about your favorite whiskeys from the other states on our Whiskey Roundtable Facebook page. Look, this brings me to talk about something we're featuring and tasting on this Friday's Whiskey Roundtable show. We're featuring a whiskey from another great, unique distiller coming from outside the traditional American whiskey states, and that is Clyde Mays from down in the Dixie state of Alabama. We'll be checking out their Clyde Mays Special Reserve, the one with the red label. Look for the live Friday Whiskey Roundtable show at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube page, with a link to the show up on our Facebook page on Friday afternoon. Well, that's all for this week's Whiskey Wizard. Make sure to catch me, Doug Dunbar, with the rest of the Whiskey Roundtable crew on our live Whiskey Roundtable show this coming Friday night. And again, that's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, cheers, Slán Jobhá, and remember, think responsibly.